Hey guys, it's Sam. It's Morning Mayhem, and I am Sam. I almost said I am Sam. It's Sam, and I am Morning Mayhem. Uh, Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. What's new, right? What's new? I was feeling super razzled and frantic this morning. I have so much to do today. And you know what? And as I sat down here and I was getting ready to hit to go live, I just said a quick little prayer, right? Just to kind of calm my nerves. Don't really have time to meditate like right this second. I am going to do that after the show. I'm going to just take like 20 minutes and just calm the F down. But anyways, as I was like going to hit live, I just like said a quick little prayer. And you know what I was just blessed with? I was like, dude, none of this matters in the grand scheme of like our universe and our soul and like how we move forward in the way we treat others, like, and how we love each other. None of it else matters. Like, it just hit me like that. And I know I talk about it. But I just think, I think like God told me like, look, just be about it. Practice what you preach right now. And like, I feel so calm and relaxed. Like it's just unbelievable. It's super unbelievable. Like the stuff that I know I'm supposed to mandatory have done today, I might not do it today just to prove that it didn't have to get done today. I don't know. It's easier said than done. Right? It's so much easier said than done. All right, guys, I will do a roll call here in a second. Welcome to the Morning Mayhem Show. I am Sam, and it is Monday. I'll start to respond.
Good morning to the chaos we ride.
So when I get texts, my own ideas. Good morning again. Oh man. Yeah, man. It's, you know what? I choose to make today an awesome day. I am not going to let all these first world American problems get me down when thousands of people are dying in Thailand right now from the earthquake. It's just nuts that I would be tripping out that I have to move some furniture from one business that I own to the next business that I own, right? And I like it doesn't have to happen today. The health department can wait. I can wait. Nothing is going to change if nothing happens today. And that's how I choose to move forward with today, especially while all those people are really going through it over there. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. Also, we have some Andrew Tate news. And I almost did a huge story on Andrew Tate a couple of weeks ago. I have it already. It's actually ready to go. It's in the hopper, right? And I never pulled the trigger on it. And now I'm so glad that I didn't, because if I'm honest, I was about to give him praise. And I was about to give him some praise where the praise was due and acknowledge where he, has been effing up. And thank God that now, God will always bring to light what is in the dark. And he did for Andrew Tate. And we're gonna talk a little bit about that. And What else? What else? What else did I have? Oh, I got some recovery news and some information to share with everybody about a website that I didn't know it existed, and I've been in the programs and in the rooms for a long time. I knew something existed out there, but I didn't know it had these kind of resources. So that is super cool. And so we'll be talking about that in our recovery portion of the show. And also I'm going to be going on But First Coffee hopefully this week. I want to talk about that, or at least just to kind of announce that. It's not for sure exactly on a day, but I am super looking forward to talking to Susie over there. She is just adorable, and I just want to not only share my story on her platform, but I want to find out more about her and what has led her to YouTube, and just kind of chat with her and have some coffee. And actually, I think we're going to do it in the afternoon, but either way, looking forward to that. So it's going to be a good week. I'm going to move some furniture at some point this week. That's how I feel about it now. At some point, I'm going to move some furniture. I just want to thank everyone for being here. Thank you to the mods. Linda, I did send you a link to join me today to get stuff started. Is that stuff from today? I don't know. Is that from today? 9/19. Oh, that is today. She must be here. Oh, she is here. Okay, awesome. So look, Linda, without any instruction for me, is hard at work, backstage, starring and getting thank you so much. I was about to apologize to her for waiting to the 11th hour to get her and not communicating with her more about she's got it under control. Awesome. Blossom, thank you so much for being back there. That is super cool, man. I feel like we got a morning show starting to happen here, right? Without being corny about it. Had it not been for the earthquake, I was going to talk about kids being exploited on YouTube. It seems to be kind of a hot topic right now. A lot of people have been talking about it. And I'm concerned about it, because I've introduced my daughter to this community, who I know is completely safe, and I don't have her on here doing content with me. She's made quick little guest appearances real fast, and I think that is completely safe and okay. I just don't but I'm not going to have her sing and dance for everybody, and I'm not going to follow her around Toys R Us doing product reviews for the new shake and bake reveal Barbie doll that makes no sense to me, but it exists, and that she has a million of. Right. But so that was going to be all I was going to talk about. But then the Andrew Tate thing happened, and then the earthquake happened. So I just thought we could just send lots of prayers for that country. I've prayed for this country before. It is kind of a hotbed for SA and trafficking, and so I've prayed for this country before, and a lot of Americans go over there. There's a name for it when Americans go over there to live, just so they can have with underage girls. Aside from being a child molester and a pedophile or PDF or however, I don't care about the monetization. I want to be crystal clear on who and what we're talking about. I've prayed for that country many times that would not exist, and that people would be brought to some kind of justice of some sort, or pray that the girls are rescued out of that life, by their family that's over there, or by ministries. There's lots of ministries over there, that something would change and for that. And this could be, and I'm not trying to be what's not catalytic, not catastrophic, but when you're predicting like apocalyptic type things for countries, or saying God is responsible for this tragedy to clean up the streets of Myanmar, I think is the name of the town, that's the epicenter. But you just don't know, right? The God of the universe, he does punish. I don't know if we're the punish. He judges us. He can judge us now just as easily as he can judge us when in the afterlife. And I used to have this pastor. I'm no longer friends with him. It's just I have some he'll always be my brother in Christ, this pastor, but I have some resentments on some decisions that he made, and no one's perfect. Even pastors that, it was a decision, if it wasn't me having the resentments towards him about the decision he made, it would be the other person having the resentments about making the decision that I thought should have been made. So, but I just can't get over it. And I've been praying about it for 2 years. I just can't get over it. I don't know if I'm ever going to get over it, but he tells this story that, about these deacons, they're all arguing. And this was at his church. Like when he was a kid, these deacons are all arguing. And, one of the deacons pretty much said, F this church, F God, the whole thing, and walked out of the church, got in his truck, pulled out of the church parking lot, and was smashed by a semi and killed him instantly. Pretty crazy. The way he tells it and the details of the story, it was almost God punished that guy instantly down here on earth. So, a lot of innocent people died in the earthquake. So I wouldn't want to say that is God punishing the country, but God does do that. So anyways, I don't want to get on my religious high horse right now. That's not what this show is about, and what really I'm about. I'm just saying I used to pray for the country, and that is why. Those are the reasons why. All right, who is here? You know what's funny? I know we always tease me about having my glasses on, but I actually, with these glasses, I have to pull them up to take a look at the thing. So I know I'm a mess, man. I'm a mess. Heather Rhodes, good morning. How are you doing today? Heather, Linda, how are you doing today? This beautiful morning. My own eyes and ears, good morning to you. Doing it Deb's way. How are you doing, Deb? I think I just went subscribe to you, doing it, Deb. Oh yeah. Yep. I sure have. You are was recommended to me by Knife Hoarder. Everyone, please go check out Doing It Deb's Way. She's a new channel. She's a single mom, I believe, or was. And she kind of has a recovery channel for everyone in my audience about that's here for recovery. Please go check out her channel. It might have something that's missing here or that's missing somewhere else. She might have some answers or some wisdom that you might need to hear. I checked out a couple of things and I subscribed right away, and I think she's going to be great. All right, Tan Louie, how are you doing this morning? And I'll put up a link. Actually, if someone can put up a link in the chat for her channel, it's Doing It Deb's Way. And yeah, just have to go check it out. Surviving Together, how are you doing this morning? Good morning to you. Oh, you know what? I don't have to read these anymore because I have someone putting those star comments and everything in the back. Okay, who are we at? Kathleen Menzies, how are you doing this morning? Haven't seen you in a bit, at least not in the chat. John Lozant, how are you doing this morning? My other's keeper will be lurking. She'll be lurking away. Gaylin, good morning to you. Hopefully you're having an awesome morning, Galen. Sorry, I paused there because I didn't know if you were on a trip or was coming back from a trip. I was just going to say welcome home, but you might still be out on the trip. I just knew you were packing. Good morning to Boho Hobo. How are you doing this morning? It's good to see you. Mischief Manage, you are on time. Woohoo! Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Good to see you. I will be doing a deep dive on my emails today. Again, like I said, I've been doing the floors at the new shop, moving everything. Everything's been hectic. But I feel pretty calm and relaxed right now. So that's pretty badass. Shell W, good morning to you. How are you doing this morning? Are you still okay with being called Casper? I'm gonna answer this question real quick. Mischief Manners asked question: was Casper a Tommy nickname for you? Are you still okay with being called Casper, or do you prefer Sam now? So in treatment, I gave up the name Casper. It wasn't a Tommy nickname for me. It was my street name. I grew up in LA, East LA. I was, one of a handful of white looking Chicanos in town or in my neighborhood in town. I've been living in Montana for so long. Everything's a town and and in my neighborhood. And so everyone called me Casper because I was white as a ghost, right? Casparin was like the way they call it, or Cartunica, which is, cartoon, obviously. Hey, Cartunica, Casparin, vente aquí, vente, it was always, Casper. So I wasn't called that when I worked at Microsoft. Obviously, they weren't calling me Casper. I was Sam or Mr. Yarbrough at Microsoft. And after my wife died and I started drinking real heavily, and I started dealing once I discovered drugs, and when I was dealing in trafficking, I went back to that street name. It just was cooler, and I was dealing with a lot of Mexican mafia guys down in Southern California. So it's just what I went by. So anyway, so in treatment, I gave up that name again. So I haven't used it in about 4 years. Whenever I'm out and about and like in town and, or we're back home, like, I was back home. I don't know, when was it? 2017, 2018. And, everyone was calling me Casper and it was weird. And then, when we're out and about here in town and someone calls me Casper, it always blows away the people that are around me because they don't know who Casper is. So I guess I prefer to be called Sam, but I'm not offended if people call me Casper, because Tommy and I had a conversation when we started the show. What was I going to be called? And I chose Casper, but I'm going back on that now. I chose Casper just because that's how his audience had met me, as Casper. So I was like, I can be Casper. I'm not one of those dudes. I really don't care. But now with everything that's happened, I think I'm just going to stick with Sam, and because that's who I am, and that's my my name. And but I'm definitely not offended by being called Casper. So whatever you want to call me is perfectly fine. Mother Bird, how are you doing this morning? Good to see you. Who else is Caddy Connie and Loudmouth Linda? Good morning to you. I will be doing an announcement for Caddy Connie and Loudmouth Linda too, to try to get over there and get them some subscribers and some watched hours. See if we can get them monetized. I know I put Sammy's stress ball down there because yesterday we did a show on what was it again? Conspiracies. It was literally less than 12 hours ago, or just over 12 hours ago. We did a conspiracy show, and I was going to cancel. Then I realized, no, I'm not going to cancel. And then, so I tried to put something together really fast. So when I was typing in my name to go on the show, I just put Sammy stress ball, because I'm a stress ball right now. So yeah, that's why that's there. Yeah, super cool. Nicole, good morning to you. Taught himself the language. Nicole, my brother lived in Thailand for many years. He taught himself the language and also taught English there. He's supposed to be moving back in a few weeks. Oh, well, I pray that he's okay. Hopefully you've talked to him. I'm sure you've talked to him since, because the earthquake was 3 days ago. So I'm sure he's okay. Yeah, he needs to get back. He needs to get back. My brother, who's a lawyer in DC, is a teacher in DC. He has a law degree, and his wife is a lawyer in DC. He taught English in Osaka, Japan. He was supposed to be there for like 2 years, and I think he was there 9 months. And he was like, "I'm out of here." People were rude to him, and he was like, he wasn't going to put up with it. So he cut his contract short and came home. Shell W, how are you doing this morning? Good to see you. One with Cats, good morning to you. Downs mom, how are you doing? I always mess that up. I just never can remember if it's Dawn or Down. B Cheen, good morning to you. How are you doing this morning? So good to see you. Thank you for all the support that you give the channel. Everyone, thank you for the support. Just being here and hitting that like button and being a subscriber supports the channel more than you could ever imagine. So I just ask people, if they come, back, multiple times, to please hit the subscribe button. It's like kind of like I was trying to explain the other day, but probably got sidetracked, that, the candy things that you have to put a quarter in if you take the candy. It's kind of like that. James Collins cares. You were never late, brother. You were always on time. You were always on time, because you know why? Because you are exactly where you're supposed to be every second of the day. You know what I'm saying? God has us where we're supposed to be every second of the day. Now, do I practice that? No. But it sure is easy for me to sit on this high chair with this microphone and tell others how to feel. I'm a whack job. Hey, good morning, Heidi. How are you doing this morning? Good to see you. Thank you for being part of the show. I don't think I've ever said hi to you. So yeah, welcome to the show, and thanks for being a member and participating in the chat this morning. Warm and humid Texas. Ugh. I would trade it right now for anything in the world. I don't mind humidity. I like dry heat. I like humid heat. I like it all. I just love heat. There's a little bit of snow on the ground right now. I don't know where it came from, because everybody had their Harleys out last week. And it was awesome. It was awesome. I have access to my old Harley, and then also a crotch rocket. So I'll be riding both of those this year. Super looking forward to it. Good morning to. Thank you for the gifted membership, Speech. I'll do it again. What is this Stream Elements thing? Stream Elements, Davey just became a sponsor. I get it. It's people. Stream Elements. I have to figure out how that all of a sudden started popping up, because I've never signed up for Stream Elements, and I think it's a sign up thing, right? It's like a like you sign up for it. So I don't know. Brother B, good morning to you, my brother. How are you doing? It's good to see you. Thank you for being a member. Mischief Managed, surviving together. Good morning, Davey. Brother B. Where's Woofy at? Woofy is not going to be here today, brother B. She will be here tomorrow, and then she won't be here on Wednesday, and then I think that's all I know of her schedule, and then she'll be here for the rest of the time. She's okay. They were hit by some pretty bad storms yesterday, but everyone's okay. Everyone's okay. Surviving together. Good morning to you. How are you doing this morning? Biff and a bam. Let's see. What do we got going on here? Could we get some ones and prayers if you haven't already? And if you have, you know what? Let's just do it again. Ones and prayers for Thailand and everyone that's been affected by the earthquake. The people that have been affected over here in America, with their family members over there, and the concern and worry if they haven't been able to speak to them yet, and ones and prayers and good vibes, and whatever your belief system is, and whatever they would have you do to pray for someone, or can we just shoot that to Thailand and just blow Thailand up with like love and good feelings and all the things, man? That would be super dope. That would be super dope. And I'm going to shoot all the way down to the bottom. If I missed you saying good morning, I apologize. The chat these days just gets so long. It used to be I could do it in 4 minutes and I could see them all in one screen. And but the show is just kind of growing, leaps and bounds. And it's badass. I am not complaining. Stupid show growing big. Ugh. Hate my show. Could you imagine just being an old curmudgeon? That's going to be me, man. I'm almost 60 now, but I still skateboard and all the things, but I'm just saying, like, what if I was just that old curmudgeon, the show's getting too big. I just can't even do the roll call right anymore. Just being like a grump puss. I think that's who I want to be. You know what though? That's never who I could be. My dad wasn't like that. Even my grandpa, my dad's dad, old hillbilly from Tennessee. Now my dad said he was a mean dad. He was a mean father, real strict. Used to hit him with the switch. When I knew my grandpa before he died in 76, I just remember him having a little snuff on his nose, like dripping down out of his nose, little snuff, sitting on his knee, literally like American Gothic, me sitting on his knee, gave me a little pocket knife, and we would whittle sticks. We just sit there and whittle and talk. And he would tell me like dirty jokes, dirty for a 5-year-old, 6-year-old. And yeah, I was going to tell one of the jokes. It's not dirty, because he was just telling it to a kid. But I guess it is, because I can't really tell it on YouTube. So, I mean, I can, but it's a dumb joke. It's not even that funny. But I remember it like it was yesterday. And he used to do like jokes. Anyways, I don't want to get into it. The jokes he would tell aren't politically correct and appropriate this day and age. But I digress. That's definitely going to be one of our t-shirts, but I digress. Yeah. And for all the t-shirt winners from the first show, I did upload all of the artwork to have those shirts made, since I'm never going to get a new platen for my screen printer. And soon as I get all the artwork's uploaded, I just have to wait for them to approve it for me to be able to have the shirts made. And then, so I'm guessing by the end of next week at the latest, shirts will be dropping on people's doorsteps. Badass. I know. I see you, John, sipping Red Bulls, brother. I seen in one of your videos you had Red Bull cans all over the place, man. You need to pump the brakes, SA. That's right, Holmes. I said it. Pump the brakes, Holmes. Although, I just threw away all my cans. I got one left sitting over here. At least you're drinking the sugar-free, less crash. It's really good. So let's check out a quick clip about what's going on. Not that. That's supposed to be my backdrop while I talked about it. You know how I always forget I create all these bells and whistles, and then I never use them how I'm supposed to be using them. I can't call it, man. I don't know what's going on with me. That's why I'm Sammy Stressball. Sammy Stressball. All right, let's check it out. I need to remove that. Add to stage. And which one are we on? Right here.
The desperate search for survivors after that 7.7 earthquake in Southeast Asia. The death toll now soaring above 1,600, with more than 3,000 injured in Myanmar. The dramatic rescue of this woman shown on Myanmar's military state-run media. And these images of survivors using their bare hands to free those trapped underneath mounds of debris. One hospital forced to treat dozens of patients outside because the building is so severely damaged, and anxious families awaiting news about their missing loved ones on the site of a collapsed building in Bangkok. Tonight, dozens remain missing. The quake, one of the worst to hit Southeast Asia in 100 years. ABC's Britt Clennett leads us off tonight from Bangkok.
Tonight, rescue efforts desperately underway in Myanmar and Thailand after that devastating earthquake in Southeast Asia. Myanmar's military junta now allowing hundreds of aid workers to enter the war-torn country. Over 1,600 people there are dead, 3,000 injured. Those numbers likely to continue rising.
That number has climbed.
Rescue workers using jackhammers, mallets to break up and remove rubble as they work to find any survivors. Some digging with their bare hands. And a brief moment of joy, this woman saved from her collapsed home. Dozens of patients seen being treated outside of this hospital after it too was damaged. But obstacles remain. Some of Myanmar's airports damaged by the quake, currently unusable by aircraft, impeding relief efforts for a country embroiled in a civil war for years. That 7.7 earthquake was the worst in the region in the last 100 years. Its tremors and aftershocks felt throughout Southeast Asia.
It's taking buildings down, and this is Bangkok right here.
Thailand, over 600 miles away from the epicenter.
600 miles away.
80 people still missing, with rescue efforts underway after this building under construction collapsed. 9 people there confirmed dead.
Rescuers here are working all through the night using heavy machinery to lift large
I didn't know
pieces
that
of debris
death toll was
in the hope
900.
of finding any survivors.
Chanasorn Siranin's sister, an electrical engineer, is one of the missing. She had only started working at the site 2 weeks ago.
So these are all the missed calls.
His numerous calls to her phone going unanswered.
Oh,
China,
poor guy,
Russia, and
man.
India say their response
I mean, poor
teams are now
everybody.
arriving in Myanmar. A U.S. military team seen assessing the damage in Bangkok.
Honestly, we're just trying to get a handle on what's going on right now.
On Friday, President Trump indicated that the U.S. had been in touch with officials in Myanmar and that they would be helping. Later that same day, the State Department not indicating when that help would arrive.
What I can tell you is that we wait for formal requests. We are ready. Obviously, we are watching what is transpiring.
And Britt joins us now from Bangkok. And Britt, rescue workers are now racing against the clock.
Well, as you can see, Mary, it is a challenging task to work through this massive mound of rubble, but the critical window to finding survivors is closing. Meanwhile, in Myanmar.
So I know a little bit more about what because this is a day ago that this report yesterday. The our military and like the aid for that was already pretty close in the area, and before any formal requests were made, that those aid workers were already like on deck and probably already working before any formal requests were made. Trump, I'm assuming this is what Trump said after he heard old girl say that. I was like, no, don't. We're not waiting for any formal requests. They need help. because no formal request was officially made, and I know there was some boots on the ground already providing aid, and really for the search and rescue. It was search and rescue teams that were there. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. I do have some satellite before and after footage that I grabbed. Check this out. I grabbed from where did I get this from? The Daily News, I think. So it'll show like a before picture. This isn't one of the good ones. And those houses are leveled. I just want to show you the last one. This one's pretty hectic. Watch that building. That's flattened. That tall building. And then this last one is, see all those little homes right there? That's like a ghetto. Watch. Destroyed. Gone. So we need to send all the prayers we can to them and their families and the families that are over here. And I'll just kind of keep everyone updated on it. It's just nuts, man. Those earthquakes, when they hit those third world countries, you know, it's huge. Hey, Woofy, hey, what's going on? You're here. Okay, I didn't think you were going to be here today. I thought that's what you said in our conversation, but I'm glad you are here. Good to see you. Hey, Russ, good morning to you, my brother. Much love, much love. One love, G, my ninja. Back to the earthquakes. Growing up in Southern California, we had earthquake drills at school, right? You know, that an alarm would sound and we'd all have to get under our desks and, you know, and pretend that it was an earthquake. I don't know what's going on with my hair today. You know, pretend it's an earthquake. And when I was a kid, it used to scare the crap out of me. It scared the crap out of me because there's a fault line that runs through California. It's called the San Andreas Fault. And from my earliest memory, you know, all the adults were talking about how California is going to fall off into the ocean, you know. And so every time we would have those earthquake drills as a kid, I would just be like, man, this is really going to happen. We're preparing to fall off into the ocean. And I was like, how is this desk over me going to save me from when we fall off into the ocean? Super scary as a kid. Like, I mean, it freaked me out. Oddly enough, I never had nightmares about it, but I used to have tornado dreams. About I would dream that I would wake up like in the space, you know, that I was sleeping in, and the windows would just all come blown in and glass everywhere, and the tornado would like swoop up the house. And yeah, I used to have tornado nightmares really bad as a kid. And I lived not in a place that ever had tornadoes. So, you know, when I would go stay with my dad in Michigan, I mean, they would have tornado warnings and watches, but nothing like Missouri, like the belt, you know, the tornado alley or whatever they call, like Hurricane Alley or Tornado Alley. I know there's a name for it. I just can't remember what it is. But anyway, yeah, earthquakes used to freak me out. Now, I've been in some major earthquakes. I've been in a 7.0 earthquake. That one they just had was a 7.7. So basically, I've been in an earthquake about that size, but we live in a country that has a lot of rules when we put up structures, especially in places where there are earthquakes. So that it reduces the amount of, you know, it reduces our death toll when we have those big earthquakes. I'm always astonished when anyone dies from an earthquake in the United States. You just don't think that it'll happen. And people die from like little earthquakes in the United States. And it's usually from something bizarre. It's like, you know, the earthquake happened, guy lost balance, fell and hit his head wrong, and he passed away. That's a true story. And the earthquake in the Northridge, which is the biggest one I've been in. And what's crazy is I was supposed to be, I worked for this contractor. His name was, or the contractor's place was called Summit General Contracting. And we were building a general nutrition center in a mall. And it was the Northridge Mall. And I used to date the guy's sister. Well, her and I broke up the night before the earthquake. And I just assumed I was going to be fired the next day. And I was like a superintendent. Like I had, did big jobs for this guy. And so I took off. I said, you know what? I'm gonna go visit my dad. So I took off in the truck. I had all the, the tools my tools, but then some company tools, and I took off in the work truck and was going to go visit my dad. But I got pulled over in Casa Grande in Pinal County, Arizona. And I had this old warrant. I can't even remember where it was from, but they took me to jail. So I was in jail and felt that earthquake all the way in Arizona, that 7.7 earthquake all the way in Arizona, or that 7.0 earthquake, or maybe it was 6.9. I can't remember. That Northridge quake. Well, come to find out, I wouldn't, the dude wasn't going to fire me. He's like, I don't care if you and my sister are together. You work for me. It's a totally separate relationship. I was a kid then. I was in my early 20s. I didn't know any better. I just thought, and I kind of stayed with her longer than I probably should have, because I was always worried about like losing my job. But he was like, no, man, what are you doing? You were supposed to be at work at the Northridge Mall. Good thing you weren't there, because the mall did, like, some of it collapsed, and that's where I was getting at. There was a wall that fell down, just like a wall, that like would go around like a dumpster, just that kind of wall. Like there was this little Korean girl, and she was like standing by the mall. I think she was like 19 or 20. And she was like, during the earthquake, she was standing by that wall, like in the parking garage, and that wall fell, and it killed her. And it was like, man, that's so sad. So that's what I mean. Like when people die from earthquakes in the United States, it's always some bizarre thing. It's not from like a building collapsing and, 1,000 people, stuck inside. And anyways, Wolfie FTG, fuck there. always FTG. FTG. All right, before I talk about Andrew, let's get to some comments and questions. I'm just going to start running through them. Sammy Stressball, yes, it is. Doing God's will. Yes, Deb's way, God's will. God's will, God's will. Man plans, God laughs all the time. John Lozon, he says, I love you, brother. Good to see you. Hope the moving went well. It's going, brother. It's going. Shell W says, good morning, Sam. Good morning to you, Shell. How are you doing? B. Cheen, thank you so much for the, that's $5 for the mod, for the super chat. Super appreciate it. I will figure out something for those guys. My wife has a couple ideas, so I think I'm gonna go with that. Good morning, Sam, and everybody. Happy Monday, brother B. Happy Monday to you, my fine sir. B. Cheen, Sam looks fantastic today. Rested and happy. I am super rested and happy, so I appreciate that. I certainly do. Blue Bayou, good morning to you. It's good to see you. A lot of these are just good mornings. Good morning, Sammy Joe. How are you doing this morning? Surviving together. Good morning to you. Elizabeth S. Good morning to you, Elizabeth. Sam and Chan, fantastic mods. Yes, they are very fantastic. You're welcome doing it Deb's way. Chrissy Never Newton. Hello, great day. Chrissy Never in Newton. That is so funny. I would love to hear the backstory about that. Hello, great day in New Hampshire. Hope you have a very blessed day. I hope everyone has a blessed day today as well. So Caterpillar was a street name, not a prison name. Got it. Thank you for explaining. Oh, you're welcome. You're very welcome, Mischief Managed. Yeah, it was a street name and then became a prison name. And I just associate it with using being a bad guy, doing bad guy stuff. Do you know what I mean? I really do, even though like when it was my street name, like I wasn't a gang member when I was called that. It was just the local people on my street, you know, would call me Casper. Yeah, I never was in a gang on the street. You know, I never did drugs even until I was 29. Was the first time I did anything except for weed. And but I smoked weed. I could count how many times I smoked weed in my life. Right here. It's either one more or less than 10 times. I don't like it. I hate it. It makes me weird and paranoid and gives me anxiety. Ever since I was a kid. So yeah, weed freaks me out. And every time I think, you know, before I was in recovery, you know, I would think, you know, I'll just try it one more time. Always a big mistake. Why did I do this to myself? It's really bizarre. It's really bizarre. Why, thank you, Sammy Joe. Yeah, you love the name Sammy. Me too. That's so funny. I'm laughing at your emoji. I love that emoji. When that emoji is used right, it can be very funny. So thank you. Thank you, Carmen Chameleon. I am feeling a lot more relaxed today. Got lots of sleep. Yeah, even though I got lots of stuff to do, I just feel. Comment. Someone asked me yesterday if I preferred James or Shaggy. I said I introduced myself as James, but not going to tell people who know me all these years I went as Shaggy, not to call me that, but I am James. That's a great way to look at it. However you were introduced to me, or however I was introduced to you, I'm perfectly fine with that. If I had my druthers, everyone would just call me Sam. But absolutely not, you know, it's Kristen, not Kirsten. I mean, I guess that's a little different. So whenever someone says that to me, there's someone in my life that is really picky about her name. Oh, her name's Tara. And everyone, of course, calls her Tara, you know, and it's Tara, not Tara. She's just real mean and yeah, it's not even a friend anymore, really. So, although she did look out for me in a time of need, and I really appreciate her, but I looked out for them as well. Blah, 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 blah. Where am I at, brother? My brother is in Las Vegas. My brother is in Las Vegas, moving back to Thailand. Oh. I see. I'm sorry, Nicole. I totally got that mixed up. Well, I'm glad he's safe. Right? Missed that one. Yeah. Bullet missed. I just heard someone at the door. That was weird. Whoopi says, cold and windy here. Brr. Hi, Cliff Ann. How are you doing today? It's good to see you this morning. I'm so glad you're here. Mama Bear, how's it going today? I'm so glad you're here this morning. Late to the game, but at least you're here. It's still the third inning, second inning. You're doing good. And that was at 9:42, so that was 20 minutes ago. So man, you were here. You were still at the beginning, top of the first. Jill Anderson asks, I was wondering why USGS heli pilots were going Kafuji. I don't know what any of that means. US government search helicopters. Helipilots were going CA flew G. I would love to understand that better. Woofy says, hi, Linda. And then Woofy says, I'm just clicking the things that are in my starred. There's 68 of them. So this is pretty cool. I am a sneaker, Sam. Be curious. Hey, be curious. Hey, Sam, greetings from South Coast of Ireland. We are having the best weather this week. That is so super awesome. Be courteous. And I love your handle. I was going to start like my outro, when I say, I was just going to start just saying, be kind, to everyone. Cause I really just want to leave with something consistent that can kind of be like, I don't want to say marching orders, cause that's almost too occulty. And that I'm like a leader of some sort, and I am not the leader. You guys are the leader. I'm the caboose. Remember Casper's caboose. We're a community, one for all and all for one. But I do kind of want to have this thing that kind of reminds us what to do during the day. And I think just trying to if we can do anything to help improve someone else's life today, try to do that. It could be as simple as just helping, a little old lady across the street, which I don't think that happens anymore. I always tell that story of when I was in that mall in Arizona, in Tucson, Arizona. And this is way before I knew Tommy, and this is just a long time ago. And I told this little old lady, because you could tell she got herself together and had her best little bonnet on, had little makeup on, and her purse, and she had to have been 85, 90. She was old, but she was walking smoothly and swiftly, and just had her her little handbag and had her little bonnet on. And I said, you know what? You look really pretty today. And she was like, oh, no one has said that to me in over 40 years. And she was so happy. And it was coming from big gruff me. I'm 6'1", 240, blasted tattoos, chin to thing. And she didn't look, she looked right past that. And she talked to me, and she was just super. And I gave her a hug, and I could tell that I really, really made her day, possibly even her week. So yeah, it was just super cool. It was super cool. Okay. Where am I at? Cool. Sam, let's schedule a Zoom chat soon. Yes, let's. Tomorrow would be okay at some point tomorrow. I almost thought he said heat my shorts. I might have. Was it me? I might have heat my shorts. I don't know. Whoever you thought might have said that probably did say that. Pretty Sweet says, I hear you. No patience for stupidity. As I get older, I'll be 60 in 2 years. Yeah. It's right. You want to be loving. You want to come from a place of love, but you can still not have patience for stupidity and not love somebody. And like I said, hate, true hate, when people say, well, is that coming from a place of love? Or are you coming from hate? I think even if can be grumpy and that's still far from coming from a place of hate. If it wasn't love, then we probably wouldn't care one way or another, and would just be moving forward. Right. Or, we would just keep it stepping. It's when we care, normally, with me at least, is when I don't have patience for other stupidity. Boy, that still sounded like I wasn't coming from a place of love, but somewhere in there is some truth and some sense where it makes sense. I'm talking about somewhere in my last couple of sentences. There's some sense to be made in that, and I'm leaving it to my community who's way smarter than me to figure that out. But I'm sure you get what I'm saying. Yeah, where's ASAP Lizzie when I need her to make sense of what I'm saying? Because she's real good at that. Mrs. Man, comment, clean, dirty joke. If bluebirds have blue babies and blackbirds have black babies, what bird has no babies? A swallow. That's perfect. That's perfect. That is a clean, dirty joke. Yeah. And you know, if a kid heard that, they would have no idea what you're talking about. So yeah, it's perfect. It's something you can say out loud in front of kids, and they'd be like, "That's not funny." It will be, young man. It will be. Russ Allen says, "Hello, everyone. I'm here, but driving. Love and respect to all. Love to you, brother. It was nice talking to you on the phone yesterday. Hopefully, you are staying safe out there. I know you were hit kind of too by the storms. Pretty nuts. Yes, such devastation. It's pretty crazy. Babes Breakdowns and Breakthroughs says, "Hi Russ, hoping we get to come see you soon." I agree. That is my lovely wife and her statement. Hello. Nicole says, "Babes, good luck with your surgery." At Babes, good luck with your surgery. She's always killing it. Yeah, they do 31 surgeries a day. Isn't that crazy? "31 surgeries a day." Someone's getting paid. Someone's getting paid. I should have went to law school. I mean, law school. Yeah, should have went to law school. Should have went to medical school. I just was never good at science. I was killer at, you know, all the language and history. Everything else I excelled in. Yeah. Everything else. Doing it does the way, doing it does he just became a sponsor. That's so weird that that's doing that automatically. I need to get that turned off or unsubscribed or something. Because they're kind of like, it's kind of like spamming my chat, you know, like they're advertising. So it's kind of weird. Russ Allen, much love, brother. Much love to you, Russ. Just Gun says death toll over 2,000 now, but expected to exceed 10,000. Yeah. I don't know if you guys caught my first thumbnail. The first thumbnail I had, where's my iPad? Well, it said feared over 100,000 dead. So as I was putting together the story, because I do have a story to read, but I didn't read the story. I mean, it's obvious what happened. As I was putting together the story, it went from 6 people to possibly over 100,000. And then it was the weekend, so I never got to, you know, so it's just grown. It got lessened, and then now it's growing back. You know, they did the same thing when the World Trade Center fell. They were talking about 40,000 dead in the World Trade Center when the Twin Towers fell. They were saying 40,000 dead, like right off the rip. And everyone was freaked out. They're like, man, that's a lot. But they were saying, you know, like, this is how many people can work in each tower, you know, cut that by a third of people calling in sick, you know, but a lot of people got out. And thank God a lot of people got out, and a lot of people died, and it was a sad day. I'm sure everyone remembers where they were at 9/11. We should have a show. We should do that. You know what? Let's do that in September on the on the anniversary. I've never done an anniversary anything about 9/11, but I've never been on YouTube either. I've been on YouTube, now with the show for what, a month and a half, maybe. It's a little over a month, I think. I can't remember. So yeah. Having said that, also, now that I just realized it's been a month, to the members and the sponsors, or that members only content, my wife is on me about it. And I whatever you guys want, like I'm trying to do, like I definitely going to do a Zoom call with everybody. I am going to have a phone number for everyone. That's going to be for everyone in the channel. That's for recovery stuff. If you have an emergency and you can't get a hold of your sponsor, I can be available. So that, and I'll have that number tomorrow. Yep. And I'll set that number on my phone. So even if I have it on silent, it'll ring through. Mayor's Girl, good morning to you. So good to see you. And yes, it is so sad. It's so sad. It is crazy what Mother Nature can do, Nicole. Yep, absolutely. Wolfie says I have to leave in 5 minutes. Okay, Wolf, and that was at 9:55. And that was 20 minutes ago. See, Ben Bacon Bits. Hey, how's it going, peeps? How are you doing today? It's good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. Cliff Ann says, what's going on? We had tornado drills in Oklahoma. Yeah. I did go to school with in Michigan one year, and I do remember doing tornado drills. Pretty crazy. Surviving together. I'm in Michigan, and we had tornado sirens go off last night. Wow. Yeah, it's crazy. Have we talked surviving together about Michigan? Because I remember one day I was clowning on Myers, and I was talking about if anyone can remember when Myers was called Myers Thrifty Acres. That's what it was called when I was a kid. Okay, comments. Mischief Managed says, wait, what is going on? Hey, V, how's it going? Comment, earthquake drills. Ugh, I grew up in SoCal too. I still want hand heavy things. I still want hand heavy things by my bed or have it by a window. Won't stop under an overpass at a red light. It stays with you. Wow. Yeah. Yep. It sure does. Right. That's crazy. Yeah. That's super crazy. Doing it Deb's way. Born in Michigan, moved to Missouri 4 years ago. Best of both worlds. Yeah. I get that. I have a lot of friends in Missouri, Joplin to be specific, and they're always worried about the tornadoes. Because they had that really bad one. That was a long time ago now, where it almost took out the entire town of Joplin. Tan Louis says the only drill I had in the UK was a fire drill. Russ Allen, Northridge earthquake. Northridge earthquake, I was in jail for that one. I've been in 3 in Cali. It sucks. Yeah. My mom told me about the atomic bomb drills in school. Yeah, hide under the desk. Yeah, have you ever seen those old black and white pictures of that? Those are eerie to look at. Those kids were scared because, back then, wars happened in the countries that with the people, in Europe, that we're so lucky to be this far from all the other countries, because a war to happen here would never happen. To where there's boots on the ground from other countries invading us. I'm not saying it couldn't happen or wouldn't. Well, no, I don't think it could. I don't think we would never let, ships getting staged outside our country like that ever. So, but what was I saying? I was talking about the drills and kids being under the desk. Yeah, but they had kids freaked out in the 50s like that could happen over here. Look, especially after Pearl Harbor. I mean, that was America, right? So, Yeah, kids were freaked out back then. ST, yep, and cover your head. Jill Northwood scared me back to Maine. Yeah, I remember Jill Anderson. Jill Anderson says, "Yep, Northwood scared me back to Maine." That's so funny. Funny, not funny, right? Yeah. I think a lot of people moved after the Northridge quake. I'm not just saying that. Comment, I was in Glendora for the Northridge quake. Not a good day. Yeah. Yeah. So you guys remember, I'm not the only one who remembers the Northridge quake. It was a big deal when it happened. I punched everyone in Taco Grande, but yeah, I can only drive through that area. My apologies to everyone in Taco Grande, but yeah, I can only drive through that area. I almost understand that comment. Smash that like button for Sam. Yes, please do. Smash that like button. It really does help. It really does. That simple little thing. I know when the creators that I watch, when they tell me to do it, I just kind of like, yeah, I'll get to it. And I never do. And like, these are like my favorite creators. And I'll watch them for hours and never hit the like button. I'm like, why didn't I like that? Why didn't I like that video for them? So now I just try to make it a habit of just doing it because it's easy, it's free, and it really helps those creators. And I wish I did it more. So for that, if you guys want to pay me back, don't hit that like button. Don't smash the like button. We're paying back Sam for all the free content he's watched over the years. But I've only been watching YouTube for 2 years. You guys know the story. Like, I watched 2 YouTube videos until 2023. I watched 2 YouTube videos, and it was how to install a garbage disposal and then a headlamp for a car. And now look. Hey girls, the party's here. Yeah, now look, I'm a YouTubing fool. Shannon Trim says, hey, Sam and chat. Good morning, Shannon. Good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. Russ Allen says, I was in Orange County Jail watching the walls crack when the Northridge quake happened. Scared the shit out of everyone. Yeah, I know it did. Motherbird says, welcome to everyone in the chat. Mischief Manage. Russ, whoa, that would be so scary, not being able to run outside. Damn. I'm going to just try to do these chats a little faster because I still got more to talk about. Linda is doing a great job, Linda, but we're going to try to just do the ones that have a CCC, but I didn't announce it either. So if you have a comment or question, just do a CCC in front of the comment or a QQQ in front of the question. That way that lets Linda know to star it, to put it up in the starred. And then when, like, in between stories, I can get to them. There's a lot more in there today, but that's cool. You know, I'm not coming down on anybody, because when I do like run through the chats, I would read a lot of these. And, you know, people didn't know to do that today. So just moving in the future with just CCC or QQQ. That way we can have a pretty succinct and hopefully articulate show by me if I'm feeling articulate. Good morning, Pam. How are you doing this morning? Good to see you. So good to see you. USGS. That's what I thought it meant. Bacon Bits. USGS, the US Geological Survey. I smoked weed maybe 3 times. I'm going to skip some of these. John Lazon says, comment, always listen to your wife. I do about 20% of the time. That's when she's ordering me around, you know. Just kidding. If I listened to my wife 20% of the time, I'd be in divorce court. Hey, I always, please let me know if I'm pronouncing this wrong. Zimena, and I'm assuming it's a Z sound for the X. Zimena. I like Zimena. I really like that. Or I love that. That's how I'm going to say it That's my final answer. Let me know if I'm saying it wrong. Thank you for becoming a member. Magic of Healing. Zamena, another awesome channel. I need to get over there more and check it out. I did. When I first discovered her, I did check out a bunch of her videos, and they're really good. I mean, just the premise of the magic of healing. I mean, that's should be all you need to, all that needs to be said right there. Feisty Kitty, it's good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. Feisty Kitty, Sam's, that story made me tear up a little bit. That was so sweet. You're such a doll. Well, thank you, Feisty Kitty. I really appreciate that. I really do. I was a mess last week. What day was that where I just like cried almost the entire show? What day was that? Man, but I felt so much better. It was that when I was crying about my oldest daughter about the tattoo. Yeah, it was just super emotional day for me last week. But man, I sure do feel better after Kenny Cunningham and Lama Linda. I hit that 60 mark moving on past. Jeanette Riley, can't hate what you never loved. That is perfectly said. Thank you for that, Jeanette, or Jamet. Is it Jamet with an M? Yeah, Jamet. Can't hate what you never loved. That's exactly right. That's why I like try to tell people, like, if like hate, like true hate takes so much energy. And if I'm hating something, that's taking energy away from my family and like the attention that I can give to my daughter, and the love that I can give to my daughter. I truly believe that. But that's perfect. Can't hate what you never loved. Absolutely. Final. I work with the public. I'm not going to read all of these, Linda, anymore, because I have to keep moving, and I don't know. There's still a lot left. I'm just going to read the ones that say that tickle my fancy. Hey, Heather, it's good to see you. Hopefully you're doing okay. You've been missed. So thanks for letting us know you're here. Thank you, Doing It Deb's Way, for becoming a member. I really appreciate that. Gotta go, peeps. Mischief Managers. Hey, see you later, Mischief. That was at 10:17. That was 10 minutes ago. Casper the Gently Ghost. Yeah. Okay. I'm not reading it. Hey, V. Oh, you're never late. You're always right on time because you're right where you're supposed to be. That's twice I've said that today, maybe even 3 times. Thank you for being here. So glad to see you. I seen you sent me an email. I'm going to read those today, right after the show. And before I go pick up this moving trailer. Nana of 2 says crazy weather. I know. Stupidity. I'm just going to have to go down to the 70s and 80s. Was a lot for us. Fatalists. Yeah. Oh, cool. I'm at the end. Comment. Did you watch that video of the cop with the DNA? No, I haven't gotten to that yet, of the old rape at gunpoint. No, I am going to do that. Do you think it's okay for me to play that here on the show? Did you watch the cop, that cop video of the cop bro who DNA linked to the 20-year-old rape at gun? No, but I'm gonna show that tomorrow. I'm gonna watch it, put together a little commentary on it, and then we'll play it tomorrow at the show. I wanted to get to my Andrew Tate thing really quick. What time is it? 10:30? Perfect. Yeah, James, I'm definitely gonna check that out. All right, let me go over to the. Hopefully I didn't miss any super chats or anything. Did I already thank everybody? Beach, thank you so much for the oh yeah, no, I already thanked you for that. Yeah. All right. Let's get back to the live chat. Oh yeah, see, I got to remember these things. Thank you for becoming a new member. I know. Do you guys want to hear? No, I'm not going to bore you with all my nerdy sound effects, except for this one. It's so aggressive. But yeah. Oh, I added this one to my sound effects today. I love that. Yeah, okay, moving on. This is breaking news. Like I was talking about earlier, I almost did that Andrew Tate case. Andrew Tate. I just realized I didn't have my light on. Can you guys see me okay? That's probably a little better. Maybe that's too bright. I'm gonna go back to that. Now I need my glasses. Breaking news. According to recent YouTube video from Jesse on Fire channel and NBC, Bree Stern has filed a civil lawsuit in Los Angeles accusing Andrew Tate of sexually assaulting and choking her at the Beverly Hills Hotel earlier this month. In an interview with NBC News, Stern described the alleged incident, stating that she was scared to death and terrified that she might die. The lawsuit claims that what started off as consensual SA, A standing for activity, escalated into violence after she asked Tate to stop. Stern's legal representation comes from attorney Tony Busby. That blew me away. That blew me away when I first heard that and read that. I look like a crazy person right now. That totally blew me away. Because he because of all the drama about the Jane Doe of the Jay-Z case and how they might have put her up to it, and they're soliciting other victims to come forward, like in this secret little word of mouth campaign, and that he just happens to be representing her. I would have chose a different lawyer, even though Busby's a beast. Look, you guys all know I love Busby. He's a beast, but at this time, in this season, and with the climate that surrounds him and his world, that was a terrible choice by her. And hopefully, because look, we're going to believe her. We got to believe her first. But now that's going to give Andrew Tate ammunition to discredit her with all the previous shenanigans that Busby's has gotten himself into. Do you know what I'm saying? He's going to discredit her through her attorney. And that's not where I would want to be as a victim. Do you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Stern's legal representation comes from attorney Busby, who is known for his involvement in numerous high-profile cases, including the recent lawsuits against Diddy and a past accusation against Jay-Z that later found face scrutiny. I think that's a very notable development. So anyways, NBC News reportedly reviewed parts of Stern's hospital discharge paperwork, which confirmed a diagnosis of post-concussion syndrome. Photos allegedly, so there you go. Here's proof moving towards victim. Photos allegedly showing initial bruising on her face have also been provided by her attorney. Furthermore, Stern filed a police report regarding the incident on March 24th. She told the NBC News she felt safer after Tate left the country, which empowered her to come forward. Wow. Let's watch this. Let's watch this news story. I know I have the video somewhere. Everything just says Sammy Stressball. Here we go. Let's check this out.
Disturbing allegations being made against one of the most controversial figures on social media, Andrew Tate. In a civil suit filed in Los Angeles this week,
Jamie Palmer.
model Bree Stern accused Tate of sexually assaulting and choking her at the Beverly Hills Hotel earlier this month. Stern sitting down with NBC News from Los Angeles in her first interview about that night.
Talk to me about what was going through your mind in that moment.
I was scared to death. I was terrified that I might die.
Stern saying in the lawsuit, what started as consensual sex in the early hours of March 11th turned more violent as she begged Tate to stop. Stern's attorney, Tony Busby, also providing NBC News with these photos, not in the lawsuit, alleging they show the initial bruising on her face. The lawsuit saying she was later diagnosed and treated for post-concussion syndrome. NBC News reviewed parts of Stern's hospital discharge paperwork confirming her diagnosis. Stern also filed a report with police on March 24th.
I was just terrified of him. I mean, he's a very wealthy, very powerful person. And once he left the country, I did feel a sense of security. And I felt like, you know what, this isn't right. And I do need to take the power back in my life. And I felt safe to go file a police report.
Two law enforcement sources familiar confirmed to NBC News that the Beverly Hills Police are investigating the incident.
To be honest, it was very difficult for me, but at the urging of my friends and family who were telling me, like, this is not right, this is not how you're supposed to be treated, this is abuse, I slowly started to kind of like see it.
Tate's attorney telling NBC News in part, quote, Andrew Tate categorically rejects the unfounded and sensational allegations against him and is committed to pursuing all available legal avenues against those perpetuating these baseless claims. This is not a pursuit of justice. It has all the hallmarks of a calculated scheme aimed at personal gain, notoriety, and financial benefit. It's only the latest of Tate's legal problems.
Well, it's been proven that the smartest people in the world are men.
A former UK kickboxer and Big Brother cast member built up a following of millions online as a self-proclaimed misogynist. The provocateur posing with weapons and making sexist comments.
Shut the up. Women know the clue how business works. I'm glad to be home.
He returned to Romania earlier this week, where he and his brother Tristan are facing human trafficking charges. The brothers have denied all allegations. Last month, they flew to Florida after Romania lifted a travel ban.
And I think my brother and I are largely misunderstood. We've yet to be convicted of any crime in our lives ever.
The Florida Attorney General saying he opened a criminal investigation into the Tates and that they've, quote, admitted to participating in what very much appears to be soliciting, trafficking, preying upon women.
He told me everything on the internet was just a facade.
Stern's lawsuit also includes text exchanges between herself and Tate in the months leading up to that alleged assault. Early messages between Tate and Stern appear to show him smothering her with love, including pet names and a romantic poem, but then allegedly getting more possessive and abusive. In one text, Tate allegedly writing, "You backtalk too much, so I beat you."
They made me feel so confused and so just bewildered.
He's hit, and good. I hope they throw the book at him. If he's guilty of this, I hope they.
How someone can tell you they love you so many times every day and then say those things and do them. Like it was definitely a lot of confusion and pain.
In parts of another exchange, Stern asking, "Why do you want to beat me?" Tate allegedly responding, "What's the point of having you if I don't beat and impregnate you? You should be thankful." Stern says that in the hours since coming forward publicly,
ugly,
she's
man.
faced threats from Tate's fans online.
I'm constantly looking over my shoulder.
But she hopes to empower other women.
It's very hard to even talk about it, to even confide in other people. So I'm hoping that I can encourage other women to find their voice, to walk away.
She came with the receipts. Hey, she came with the receipts for real. I'm not a big fan of that term, the receipts, the proof, the evidence. But let's call it what it is. It's receipts for real. And yeah, I will man, good for her. I'm sorry she's going through this. But yeah, good for her. I mean, because it doesn't look like the Romanian charges are going to stick and he's going to get away with it. If he was guilty of it, I'm skeptical about a lot of things that happened over there, but there's some things that are definitely true. He's was involved in the trafficking, meaning he, flew girls to Romania and then put them to work. It's argued was that the purpose? Were they misled? There's some, but there's some other weird things that are going on over there. Maybe this is God's way of, yeah, you got away with this one, but bam, here you go. You get to go to prison for the rest of your life.
And to be strong.
Chloe Malas joins us now. Quite an interview, very powerful. You know, Andrew Tate has a bit of a reputation, and I'm just wondering, did she talk at all about, had she heard about that reputation before she got involved with him?
That's a great question, Tom, because
Doesn't matter.
You know,
Doesn't matter. Don't even go there. For real. Why do you even need to go there? Well, what? She knew that he was that way beforehand? That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. No, that wasn't a good question. She just said it's a good question. No, anyways.
Andrew Tate and his brother had been open with their views for over a decade on social media, but she says that she really didn't Google him before she flew to Romania to meet him, that she hadn't been following him on social media, and she really didn't know all that he was about, but that they were in a very loving relationship, that they talked about starting a family together, but that she realized that she was in an abusive relationship. And she does say, Tom, that she is getting threats online, like she says in our piece tonight, in the wake of coming forward with her lawsuit.
Chloe Malas, thank you very much.
Yeah, so yeah, there you have it. I think he's hit. I mean, just those text messages, and then the love bombing, and to bring her into his like fold or whatever. I don't necessarily buy she didn't Google him beforehand. He's too big not to Google. You know, if you're dating that guy, you Google him. But having said that, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He could have said, no, I'm a changed man. That's not, who I am anymore. It doesn't matter if she knew about it beforehand. So I don't even think that should have got brought up. It kind of pisses me off for real that he even said that. But I'm Sammy Stressball. So but the poor girl, hopefully she gets $10 million and he goes to prison for the rest of her life. I know that doesn't make it right, but it definitely will help her feel better about the situation. So anyways, let me finish reading what I wrote earlier. Allegations against him and his committed to pursuing all available legal avenues against those perpetuating these baseless claims. The attorney suggests the lawsuit is a calculated scheme aimed at personal gain, notoriety, and financial benefit. This new case adds to Tate's existing legal troubles, including human trafficking investigation in Romania. The YouTube video also provides context by referencing Tate's past online content, which is described as deeply problematic and indicative of his how come I can't pronounce that today? Misogynistic views and exploitive behavior, particularly concerning his former cam girl business. The host explicitly states he would not want his daughters near Tate, based on this past comment. That's a host that I put into the Notebook LM. A particularly disturbing aspect highlighted are the message exchanges between Tate and Stern leading up to the alleged assault. These messages reportedly show an initial phase of love bombing. That's just what I was saying, followed by an increasingly possessive and abusive language. In one alleged exchange, as we just seen, after Stern questioned why Tate wanted to beat her, he reportedly responded, "What's the point? And we already seen that of having you if I don't beat you and impregnate you." Preying upon women, adding to another layer to the situation. The Florida Attorney General recently announced a criminal investigation into Andrew Tate. This is what I was going to report on last week, and it kind of kept me at bay from reporting because I had I was going to do a positive story on Andrew Tate. I'm not going to lie. And, but then the Florida Attorney General opened up a case against him criminally. So I kind of waited. I did and end up not getting to it. And I'm so glad I didn't now. Because I would hate for there to be a video of me, singing his praises, and, that he's got past all these baseless allegations of him in Romania. and that he's just a good Christian guy, because he's not. He might be a Christian, but let me be his fruit inspector, and his fruit stinks. His fruit is rotten. And again, the latest situation: trafficking upon women. Recently announced investigation after he traveled from Romania. And so the new case against him is also trafficking. Where there's smoke, there's fire, and there is a lot of smoke. And now with these new allegations, there's fire. Let's hope he goes to jail and loses everything he's got, because he's a chump. He's a chump. He's a punk. You know what I mean? And he deserves everything that he's got coming to him. Good morning, Jamie. I see that you're here and you came a little bit late. I agree that the last question was a dumb one. Bright side, anyone who didn't know about Tate will certainly know now. That's right. They certainly will. Thought he was too smart to be this stupid. Yeah, me too. Yep. Absolutely. Hey, Galen, how are you doing? It's amazing how nasty people can be online, social media. It's disgusting. It is disgusting. It just blows me away. Doesn't mean he didn't commit something. Convicted doesn't mean he didn't commit something. That's right. Jamie Palmer says, had a bad thunderstorm come through this early this morning, which woke me up with a fright, gave me a headache. So I've been chilling, trying to get rid of it. Well, prayers and ones out to Jamie Palmer. Hopefully you feel better soon. And yeah, that was a nasty storm. I did have it up on the radar earlier because I was watching it. I have family in Michigan, and a lot of our viewers are in Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky, in that area. So just worried about them and hoping that they were okay. So I was watching the radar last night, and I was watching it this morning. So yeah, well, I'm just glad you're okay, Jamie. And so glad you're here and being a part of the show. Let me just get rid of all these starred comments. The teacher telling us we're supposed to have class. The lesson. Jessica says, I remember the teacher telling us we were supposed to have class on nuclear bomb responses, and her just saying, what for? There's no point in the lesson. That's right. That's right, really. Hey, Linda, can you unstar all the questions that I've already read? Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Tate gives me bad vibes. Yeah, I really, really wanted to like this guy. I did. I wanted to like this guy. And, and I haven't watched a lot about him. When I was doing the news story, it was on a recommendation. It was a good recommendation. And just to do the story, and when I was asked to do the story on him, the person who recommended didn't say, can you do a hit piece or can you do a love story to him? They just said, hey, maybe you should look into Andrew Tate and see what you find and what you got. And I did. But I didn't do like a deep dive of like all his, TV show stuff and everything that he did earlier. Oh, by the way, did you guys see this little flower that Hazley made me? It's so cute. She came in here yesterday and she's all, Daddy, what's your favorite colors? I said, orange and blue. And, well, first I said blue. And then she goes, I need two. I was like, okay, orange and blue. Because I love orange. And obviously my logo's orange. Everything's orange hues. And she came in and she made me this little flower, and it is so badass. I just love it. I mean, she could poop on the floor, if I'm honest, and I would think it was so cute. Yeah, I really would. Jess Gunn says he said he was just playing a character and given, yep, I'd seen that, and given WWF what she believed, especially if he was love bombing her. Yep, That's right. That's right. Where are we at? Tate gives me bad vibes. Sam, I agree that. Yep. Did I already say good morning to you? Meredith, if I missed you, good morning to you. I just remember the teacher telling us. Okay, I think I've read everything and done everything. So, is there any milestones today? Anybody celebrating a sober birthday? 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, etc. I would love to celebrate with you. Any birthdays? That would be awesome. Is everyone okay in their recovery? If you're recovering, let me know. Let the community know we're here for you as a whole. And anything else like recovery related? Do you want to share a story? Do you have a link you want me to go to real quick? We can watch. I am going to have some law enforcement stuff tomorrow. That's going to be cool. Nothing new in the Diddy verse and all that stuff. So don't have much to say about any of that. Really, we're just waiting for the trial. We'll cover the trial a little bit. I am doing that's right. I'm doing the Madeline Soto case tomorrow. So I just want to give a trigger warning for tomorrow, and I'll do it again tomorrow. I am going to cover the Madeline Soto case. She's a missing girl who went missing, and then her poor deceased body was found later. God, it's making me emotional. Yeah. And so we're going to talk about that tomorrow and where the case is at. It's been over a year and they still haven't gone to trial, but I do have a lot of stuff to discuss. I have a couple of jail phone calls I'm going to play with the alleged perpetrator. I might play those. I don't know. I'm not even going to, I only want to mention his name one time. And then after that, it'll be the perpetrator, because he is innocent until proven guilty. And there is some janky stuff with the case. And that's the only reason why I'm going to cover it, because he might not be guilty, although he does seem guilty. And I'll explain why the possibility is there. And it sucks because I wish they just had this guy clean to rights, lock him up, throw away the key. I really do. But there is some just shady stuff with the young girl's mom. And it's just, I just wish it was more crystal clear. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to like have doubts about a perpetrator. I want to know this fool is guilty. Send him away. Let the inmates in the jail, take care of him and have their way with him for punishment, and see you never. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, it's a very complex case. And, we do cover cases like that. And so I will be covering the Madeline Soto case tomorrow. I'm kind of looking forward to it because we haven't really covered anything lately. I say lately, I'm only a month old in the show, but we haven't done a lot of court stuff, in the past week or two, except for the Jason Levesque trial, and he was found not guilty. Good for him. So glad he was found not guilty. He's probably already out of jail because he'll get time served on the aggravated assault charge. Anything else out there? I was thinking about covering the Lori Vallow stuff, but her stuff is hard to watch. But she was so nuts, man. She was so nuts. And she's going to trial now over the death of her ex-husband, who allegedly she had her brother killed with a shotgun. Went over there, started a fight with him, and he ended up on a dead on his front lawn. And the brother, her brother who did it, he's no longer with us either. And we think that she took him out, right? I say we as like the community at large, you know. We think that she took out her brother before he could speak and say that, yeah, my sister put me up to it. So she's ruthless, man. So I might do a poll. I know I did one a couple weeks ago. I might do another poll if, you know what? Let's just do that poll right now. Let me get the poll stuff together. This is only going to take me a second. Oh yeah, I do have another announcement to make too. Sorry guys, let me just get this. Come on. So weird, it's hard to pull up my own stuff. Okay, let me detach that. Oh no, I can just do it from right here. I'm just gonna put Lori Vallow case. Should we, I guess, follow? Sorry, guys. I know it's dead air. You guys know how much I love that. It's freaking me out right now that I just have to talk. Okay, I just started a poll. It's should we follow the Lori Vallow case or trial? You know, meaning the actual, like, watch the trial together. I know on certain days I will watch it. I will put it up and we will watch it. No matter what you guys say. No, but like, should we follow it intensely? Like, you know, every day, watch all the testimony, or, you know, I'll probably just follow it lightly regardless. But what I mean is just like, should I really, 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 really follow that case like closely? All right. What else do I have here? I have some other stuff pulled up. Oh yeah, let's talk about this. I wanted to talk about this a little bit. Man, I'm so glad. So there is a virtual NA. Let me remove that. So there is a channel, and it is down in the bottom scroller, and I will have it in the description also. Or not channel, but website. It's called virtual-na.org. And on there is lots of good stuff. There's meetings, online meetings 24/7. There's marathon meetings. There's events, NA events. There's it just has all the Narcotics Anonymous information that you would need to know. And it's super user friendly. You just, I mean, it's obvious right there, front and center is to find a meeting. Just click there. And I'm sure there's, let me just click on this one and see what comes up. Important, all the NAMEs are virtual. Yeah, so yeah, there's just lots of virtual meetings. And look, it just fetched the meetings. Bam, that's amazing. That's amazing. I think I'm going to show that. Yeah. What I'm showing you is just a screenshot. Let me remove that, guys. So after you click that, it says fetching meetings. And wow, like look at all these awesome meetings. The Sydney late nighters. And so like you really could find a meeting 24/7 because there's meetings on the other side of the world that are happening, while we're all asleep at night. They're having meetings over in Sydney, which is awesome. Stroud, Gloucester. I always pronounce that wrong. Literature studies. I mean, there's anything you want, it is there. What an awesome find. This was given to me by Glitterella, I think, by Ellen Gomez. Yeah, I think that's who gave it to me. Hold on. I just want to give credit where credit is due. Hold on, guys. I sent a link. StreamYard, Connie. Of course, I can't find this now. Hold on, guys. Checking in. Lots of happening. It's so funny when I'm looking for other things in my email, I always see things that like, dude, how am I just now seeing this? It's so crazy. I think it was Jade who sent me that link. Or no, I don't want to give out anyone's information. Anyways, no, it wasn't Jade. I wish that they would do my sent messages in the order that they were sent. And it's not doing that. Susie, no, that's Susie. Studio, good question. No, I want you to start every question. No. Hey, you available to talk anytime. Shell, analytical Blarney. Anyways, I can't find it right now. Anyways, thank you to the viewer who sent me that. My head will explode if I have any more dead air. I just feel the viewers leaving when I'm like not saying anything and looking for stuff. Watching me slowly do tech would not be fun for me to watch. Right? So okay, but I did see some emails that I need to get to today, and I am super looking forward to that. All right, let me just go back to the comments. Angie Mo, hey, good morning, Angie. Question: May I ask for thoughts and prayers? I have to go to court tomorrow to see if I can keep my rescue dog. Absolutely, gosh, Angie, I didn't even know you had this going on. Can we get tons of prayers? And I'm gonna put you in my prayer circle also for Angie Mo. And she's going to court tomorrow to see if she can keep her rescue dog. And we need to pray that God's will be done, and that is for her to keep her dog. And just let us know how it goes either way, Angie. I mean, I know you will. You're here every day. I mean, I don't assume you're here every day. I know generally I see you in the chat, and I appreciate you being here, and so does everyone. You're really important to our community, 1000%, as is everyone. Sam, the sooner you realize that you think you are and accept you're a lot more left wing than center, the happier you'll be. I know, right? Man, don't put me on blast, Jess. Come on. But no, you're right. And I haven't even done my story yet about how I think Trump is left wing, except for he's not. But anyways, but yeah, I appreciate that, Jess. I do take that as a compliment. But you are so funny. But you're right. I'll get it all figured out. I just think the left needs good leadership, right? And there's no one there right now. There's no one there right now, and I don't think gruesome Newsom is the answer. Not to get off on a political. We do have days where we talk about more politics than not, but I definitely don't think it's Gavin Newsom, and I just he ran my state for a long time, and still is running it. So I just don't like the guy, but it's personal. It's personal. Yes, I'm vaping still, but it's a 3% nicotine. I did have to go up from remember I said I was using the 0, and they said, no, there's a tiny bit. I did have to go get some that had a little bit more nicotine but remember, I was doing 18%, and now I'm at 3%. So baby steps. Hey, Ann from Massachusetts, how you doing today? It's good to see you. I was watching a law channel, and there was a stepmom who locked her stepson up for 20 years since he was 12 years old. I think the case is in Pennsylvania. Yes, I have that case. I could do that case right now. I have all the stuff, and I was getting stuff together for Legal Livewire, my other channel, and I was just waiting for another hearing to pop before I covered it. It's just super ugly. The stepmom is basically saying, well, I'm just following what his dad was doing, and the dad died a year ago. And so she said that she was just continuing the care of what her ex-husband was doing. Not ex-husband, but deceased husband. The guy's 33 years old, and you had him locked up in a room, and you were feeding him 2 cups of water a day. What out of any of that makes any sense at all? So the dude asked for a lighter to light a candle or an incense or something because he's basically living in his feces. Asked for a lighter and started his room on fire. So the police would have to come and the fire department, and he was saved. He was rescued. He rescued himself. Good for him. And now he's freaking out. He still hasn't shown his face, and he's still in the hospital recovering, but he's freaking out. He's like, I've been locked up since I was 12 years old. He's 33 or 11 years old. He's 33. How is she out there walking around? Of course, because she's got bail, and and it's still, she's innocent until proven guilty, and these are alleged crimes. But I heard her lawyer arguing the other day, saying that this is all alleged. She's was just following her husband's orders, but he's no longer with us. It doesn't matter. If your husband was alive, he'd be going to jail with you. But I guess what I'm getting at is why is she out walking around? Yeah, I get it. We have a bail system. But sometimes those bails need to be set really high, because you know what? She doesn't deserve to be out there walking around. And I know that goes against what our bail system's for, and innocent until proven guilty. But she's guilty, right? I'm not a lawyer. I'm an observer. I can say she's guilty. I don't have to say innocent until proven guilty. And for real, I don't have to say allegedly, because I'm not going to hurt her. It's not defamation. Facts ain't defamation, right? Those are facts. He was locked up. It was her house. Facts ain't defamation. Thank you, that surprise witness. because that's her motto, right? I'm stealing that for this one. So yeah, I don't have to say allegedly. She's guilty. She shouldn't be walking around, but she'll get hers for locking up that poor dude. It's crazy. Oh, Nicole, that's so crazy. You just said that. Bring on YouTuber Gavin Fish. He's covered the Soto case extensively. Yes, that's so crazy. So all my Soto research was done on Gavin Fish's channel. Yeah, he's a beast. I would love to have him on. I would love to have him on the show. I might not be big enough for him to come on. It would be a clout grab for me to have him on, you know? So like maybe I could like pay him or something. I don't know. Like, you know, hey, but here's $10. Can you come on my show? You know, I don't know. Yeah, he's super smart and like soft spoken. He's kind of like he's soft spoken like I am when I'm not like ranting about something, you know. We're not. What did my grandmother used to say about something in? You have something in your hat. She used to say something. A craw in your hat or something, or a craw? Is that even a word? Question, Shannon Trim, have you heard about the Paul Ferguson case? No, I haven't. At least not by name. I might have seen something on it and just not know what I was watching. But yeah, I'll check it out. Paul Ferguson. You know, I'm just gonna do notes on my iPad from now on because I'm always looking for a pen. Oh wait, I remember I put 2 pens right here earlier. And they're not here. Oh, here's one. Yeah, Paul Ferguson. It sounds really familiar, but you know, I run around in the legal world, so. But yeah, that mom, she should be in jail. I don't even think they have an ankle monitor on her. Do something. House arrest. They might have an ankle monitor on her. I don't know. Jamie Palmer asks or comments, have you heard about the 18-year-old girl in AZ who tried to cover up her baby's death? Alex. Yes, I have. Alexi Treviso. I sure have. I mean, there's 2 cases. I don't think they're both in Arizona. There's the one where the young girl had the baby in the bathroom stall at the hospital, and she put the remains in the wastebasket. And then there's the other one where she buried. She had the baby by herself in her room with her parents 2 doors down, and she said the baby was stillborn, and she buried the remains in her backyard. But on the bones, they found some charred, like she tried to burn it, which is crazy because that goes against her story of how the baby. Anyways, she didn't mention it. Rather, super sad, super sad. Have you? Hey, Galen, how's it going? Galen asks, have you seen the missing Nazaya Harris case? Nazaya, yep, I think I'm saying that right. She was essayed by her stepdad for years. She is now missing, and he is going to trial soon. Wow, I didn't know. I didn't know she was now missing. I do know the case. I did not know that she is missing. Wow. I'm gonna look into that. That's crazy. No. Thank you, Galen. Harris case. Yeah, I love how this works, man. With the community, having the community, you know, because I've tried doing these lives with nobody, and they're really hard. But how the community gives the content, and we all just like watch it and recommend, and I just love it, man. I just love it. I wouldn't change my life for anything right now. I really wouldn't. Except though I'm supposed to be unstarring these as I go, and I keep forgetting. Comment. LV's brother and uncle have their own YT channel. LV. Who's LV, Nicole? And when am I coming on your channel, Nicole? Oh, we need to get together and work on your logo too. As soon as I'm done moving, we're gonna get right on that. Okay, Nicole. Jamie Palmer, Ben Bacon Bits. They have security camera footage in the hospital of her. I have no idea. John Stone's same thing with the AA type AA Zoom meetings near me, Canada, and everywhere. This is where I go. Yeah, I'll check that out, John. Just text me the link so I can put it up. I'm an AA guy myself. I used to do NA meetings, even though I'm a full blown junkie. You know what I mean? Like I wallow in my junkiness. But I just find, for me, the way I think, I'm an alcoholic. I think like an alcoholic, but my drug of choice is heroin and meth and anything else I can stick in my arm. You know what I mean? When I'm using, I wanted it all. Yeah. Even when I was trafficking drugs, like, I trafficked everything. I wasn't just going to be like, you know, oh yeah, here's my meth, you know, I'm trafficking meth. No, dude, I was everything, dude. I just, I was trying to kill myself. Sam, he was 69 pounds. He's like 5'7" or 5'8". He's so starved he may not ever recover. Wow. And I know that is so crazy. That is so crazy. I know I'm repeating myself. Crazy. I'm just kind of going through the comments, finding out what I've read and what I haven't. Doing it Deb's way. Thanks again, Deb, for becoming a new member. See, now you got the sound effects. I'm still, since you're new to the channel, Deb, I just started using my Stream Deck with the sound effects, and I had to get the microphone. Anyways, there's a whole show on it. Yep. Mommy Bear says late to the game. Good morning. I know I already said good morning to you. I was just looking up at the messages and just redoing them. Wolfie says, ha ha ha. I'm a sneaker at Sam. Wolfie says, I'm a sneaker at Sam. She's a sneaky dake. Okay. All right. Well, geez, guys. We are over the 2 hours, but you know the rules. We can go 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. It doesn't matter. I think we have done a 3 hour show before. But today I am going to have to cut it down to 2 hours. I'm so sorry. Because once again, I'm in that mood to talk and to hang out with you guys. But I have a lot to do. How lame. I can't wait though till all that's moved in and I have a routine and where we can do a 3 hour, 4 hour show. I love doing them. I did upload a video with our press secretary. If you guys can, go check that out. I am going to start doing, starting this week, I am going to start uploading videos of me doing the news stories. And then in the mornings, I'm going to talk about the news stories that I think we want to hear. And then all the other stuff that we don't really care too much about as a community, but like all the recovery stuff will be here live. And then, and then stories that mean something that I want to discuss, that I want to raise my angry fist and form an angry mob and have you guys come with me and, virtually stand in front of a courthouse, with our flags and signs. I will do those stories live. But so start looking out for those videos soon and help me get that kind of content out into the algorithm. That'll help grow the show so we can start doing more. Anyways, I love you guys. If you're a new member, There will be members only content coming. If you are a new subscriber and a new member, go check out. I'm going to have to do a playlist for new members so they can see like our history, how we came about. I think that would be super interesting. I should maybe even just do a video on it, like how After Bars came about, what we're about, what our mission statement is, and all the things. Anyways, guys, I love you so much, and that's not me parasocialing, love bombing you guys. You guys know I love you. It doesn't matter if nothing matters as long as we're here. That's all I want to say. So on that note, I will leave you guys to it. I don't know what outro is in the thing. I'm just going to take a chance that it's the right one. Till next time, please try and help someone improve their life, or help improve someone's life today, you know, and however that looks. And it could be just saying hi to someone that just feels alone and lonely. Have a good day, guys. I'll start to respond.
Good morning to the chaos we ride.
So when I get texts, my own ideas,